But now, the civil society of Africa, especially here in Uganda, which I know, are these young people who are not employed. Now they are hired by foreign interests, using even government money of foreign governments, to come and agitate for something. So how can you call those civil society? They are employed by external forces.
Mr. President, during the few elections that I have monitored in Uganda, your opponents say Mr. President has been in power since 1986. What at all does he want to achieve that he hasn't achieved? What does he want to do? Children born since 1986 have known only one leader and one leader only, President Yoweri Museveni. They said it is about time Mr. President goes to his farm, takes care of his grandchildren, and then leave it to the young generation to continue what he has built. How do you respond to them, Mr. President?
Well, I thought those people were Democrats.
This is the journey to One Africa.
We don't want to be flunkies of anybody. Now, as we went along, especially we who are younger, had time now to elaborate more the sentiment into principles. And the principles we evolved were 4. Number 1, patriotism. You must love Uganda as a whole because you need it. You need it for the prosperity of our people. First of all, because of the market. Because Uganda market is good for the producers of goods and services, irrespective of what tribe they come from. So we rejected the line of sectarianism, tribes, religion. We rejected it. We said this is not serving our interests. Because if I am a cattle keeper like myself, I produce milk, I produce beef. Who are my friends? My friends are the ones who buy the meat and who buy the milk. How will you ensure prosperity? So therefore, principle number 1, eventually, although initially it was sentiment, feeling, anger, but when we analyzed more, we found that there were actual reasons, not just sentiment. And number 1 was patriotism. Love Uganda, down with sectarianism, down with the politics of identity. But then we saw that if the African people wake up and start producing goods and services, even the internal market of Uganda will not be enough if we are really serious. And that's why we say the second principle is Pan-Africanism. You must work for the integration of the whole of Africa. And then the third principle was what we call socio-economic transformation, modernization. Society must go from its pre-capitalist character to a modern middle-class, skilled working-class society, and then finally democracy. So when we pushed these lines, we found that we succeeded because they attracted more followership. more followership, but also good quality followership. Both in quantity and in quality, we were doing well.
So let's talk about trade and Uganda. Some of your officials were attended the summit with regards to the European Union and African Union summit, where they looked at ways where Africa's interest and European interest will be addressed. And some African countries have expressed concern that although there's an agreement, the European market appears not to be open. And that when there are processed products like coffee, cocoa, and all kinds, and processed from Africa, there are some restrictions or taxes put on them. What is your stance, Mr. President, regarding that?
Well, that's the distortion. That is the distortion. Why do you allow unprocessed coffee, and when I process it, you block it? What are you looking for? What are you saying? That means you are saying that Africa should always only produce raw materials. Don't dare to add value. That's the message. We need to reject that, to point out. Of course, in the short run, we are a bit weak because we are fragmented. We are not one market of Africa, which is huge. I think we are now going to 1.5 billion people. But it's good to state our position on the one hand, and on the other hand, to work on the integration itself of our own market. Because if our market was integrated and acting with one command, then we would discipline those Europeans. Because we would be able to say, if you don't do this, we shall not now. We are begging, we are appealing, we are petitioning, because we are still weak on our side. We are not organized. We are not weak, but we are not well organized.
Back to Uganda, would you say your economic policies have taken roots and bearing fruit and improving the lives of Ugandans and, of course, the refugees who are here in Uganda?
If you trace historically, we were the first to acknowledge the role of the private sector when we came into government. And it really helped the economy to grow. The inflation rate is very low. You can check the inflation rate must be like 2% or 3%, because everything is there, either produced locally or imported. Our push now has got three qualitative elements. Number one, all the homesteads must join the money economy. Number two, aggressive import substitution, because many of these imports from China, they can produce them here, our people. Number three, export promotion. But maybe you could also add number four, science-led economy, led by our own scientists. So therefore the economy will grow much faster and be bigger and more modern.
I want to get your thoughts on the Chinese investing in Africa. Sometimes they provide assistance, aid, with Russia also some military assistance, development loans, investment, military support in countries such as Mali and the CAR. What are your thoughts about these two countries partnering Africans and, with loans and all that?
Politically speaking, from 1917, from 1949, China and Russia have been on the side of the anti-colonial movement. I think these Western people need to be a bit serious. They have been on our side politically. when we defeated the colonists, we have no problem. We Africans forgive and forget. So we decided to stay together, like with us, who were with the British. We are members of the Commonwealth. We have no problem. But for somebody to say, have a problem with China, why are you dealing with China? You don't know why? China was supporting me when you were disturbing me. Have you forgotten?
Mr. President, let's talk about the rule of law in Uganda. Recently, you talked about elections that were held during the pandemic and all. I understand you called on some opposition leaders to meet and all that. My question is President Yoweri Museveni willing to meet your critics and opponents to hash out, because as you said, it's patriotism and building the country together, to talk in a dialogue, to address their concerns as you move the country forward?
We are meeting. We have a group called IPOD, Inter-Party
Advisory Committee?
Yes.
Something like that. Okay.
We have some of those, a few who don't come, who don't want to come, that don't attend. Otherwise, we have been having this for the last, actually, almost 10 years now. We have been having this iPod. We discuss everything, party funding. That's how we got the government to fund political parties, because there was that problem of funding parties, because the membership, because of the culture, but also a bit of poverty. The members don't contribute to the parties. So they were having a problem of funding. And we said the government must fund them following a certain formula according to the numerical strength of the parties in parliament.
So, Mr. President, some of these minor parties, as you call them, are saying that the political space appears to be narrowed, and that when they go about meeting their constituents or meeting their supporters, security agencies, including police, are used to stop them. Sometimes they are beating, sometimes they are dispersed. How do you respond to such criticism, Mr. President?
That's not true. The friction was over the corona time. Actually, they are the ones who caused the second wave. So second wave of corona should be opposition wave. Should call them corona parties. We are the ones who had avoided the second wave. They are the ones who caused it because of indiscipline. If you want to demonstrate, there are free spaces, like Corona Airstrip, where we have celebrations. Like, you can go there and show whatever you want to show, but without interfering. So that's how we get into some friction. Otherwise, there's no, the radios. Uganda has got one of the freest media in the world. Check how many radio stations are there. They say whatever they want to say. If they break the law, they are accused in court and they fight it out.
So, Mr. President, one of your critics made waves with claims of torture by the military, and that he has the scars to prove it. I think his name is Kakwenja Rukirabashaija and the likes. And they said they had known you to be against torture, but this is happening. So when you hear that, Mr. President, how do you respond to that?
Well, it's true that some of the people were tortured. I have got some, I've not confirmed about that one, but I have confirmed some other cases. And I took it up with because you see, the part of the problem of Africa is knowing what to do, is capacity building. We are building armies and security forces. These come with, sometimes they come with traditional ideas from the village, or they get imported ideas from the former colonialists, like for instance, the police force, which was here during the colonial times. They were using those methods of torture to make people talk, to make what. Now, that culture still lingers on, especially in the police, which is an older organization. But from the army, which is new, they come with village ideas. In the villages, when you steal, you are beaten. This is the traditional way. It is cultural that they beat you for two reasons. First of all, to make you talk. Oh, are you the one who did this? Oh, yes, I'm the one. Please don't beat me. Then also as a punishment now, you have those currents. The answer for those is, apart from the documents are there, the laws are there, but the sensitization, to tell them that first of all, torture is not necessary.
So, Mr. President, you talked about CSOs or civil society groups in Uganda not being CSOs, calling them foreign agents. Why do you say so? And I've heard some of them saying that the government seemed to use the institutions such as the security, police, and then the judiciary to clamp down on civil liberties, including free speech and opponents of the administration, who you described as the minority. How do you respond to such, Mr. President?
My understanding of civil society was that I would have my own means of living. I am a farmer, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor. That's how I earn a living. But somehow I get a passion for something. For orphans, for something. And I make a contribution there also. But I'm not paid. I'm not paid for that. No, even when I raise money is to deal with the disadvantaged people. That's what civil society I had should be. But now, the civil society of Africa, especially here in Uganda, which I know, are these young people who are not employed. Now they are hired by foreign interests, using even government money of foreign governments, to come and agitate for something. So how can you call those civil society? They are employed by external forces.
Mr. President, during the few elections that I have monitored in Uganda, your opponents say Mr. President has been in power since 1986. What at all does he want to achieve that he hasn't achieved? What does he want to do? Children born since 1986 have known only one leader, and one leader only, President Yoweri Museveni. They said it is about time Mr. President goes to his farm, takes care of his grandchildren, and then leave it to the young generation to continue what he has built. How do you respond to them, Mr. President?
Well, I thought those people were Democrats. I thought they were Democrats because that's a decision that is taken by the electorate. The electorate, first of all, the problem we have is that all those actors have no mission. They just want power. Our understanding is the what. What is to be done? Because if you answer the what is to be done, and you look at our 4 principles, if we have done something on the patriotism, good. That's why we have got some good results. That's why Uganda is not a failed state. That's why we don't have the UN here to guard us, to defend us, or France to bring troops here to defend us as if there are no people here. So that is an achievement. But how about integration? You remember integration we have. So integration. How about socio-economic transformation? We have moved. For instance, the literacy rate is 76% now. It used to be 43%. So when they say, what did he want to achieve that he has not achieved? There are so many things that we have not achieved our movement. Like, for instance, okay, the literacy rate now is 76%, but the jobs are not yet enough for all these people, and we are struggling with that. Integration, we are struggling with that. So then, because of that long time mission, we ask the question, if you have got such big issues to deal with, to handle, you have achieved some, others you have not yet achieved, but you aim at them. Is it wise to have, as they say on the sea, when they are running a ship, all hands on board, everybody in the ship, all the staff come and contribute? Or is it correct to say, although we have not achieved all our aims, some of the actors, you go, we don't need you, because we have been around for too long. For us, we say, please, it is the mission that determines the who. If we reach a stage where we say we don't need all these elders, good, because we have achieved our mission. So that argument is really between the mission-oriented people and other people. I just want, I don't know what they want. We don't accept that argument.